I made a mistake. There we go. Yeah, as we continue racing here tonight, with my just had to fix the stream here, so I appreciate everybody that showed up here tonight and the technical difficulties that I had here tonight. But the race should be good to go now, so hopefully everybody is seeing what's going on. Everything's been good to go. Right now, lap 18 of 120. Robert Kahn is out front over there. Paulson, Tom, Austin, Dalton Killer, Joshua Divers, Brian Dees, DJ Mitchell, Ryan, and Tim Williams. So we're having a great start here at Kentucky, and these drivers are doing a fantastic job, just like the previous weeks. And obviously, with some of the things that have been going on lately, and obviously with the leaders and the point standing and stuff like that, they will continue to work around here tonight as each driver is out there trying to earn each and every point they can. Want to give a shout out to all the drivers. Yeah, give a good shout out there to all the fans out there, and I appreciate all the support that everybody's given. Thanks for the heads up. You guys definitely came through. So I was not aware that the broadcast was not live, but we are live now, and so are these drivers as we are now 20 of 120.
Yeah, good start for everybody, and for those hopping in and finally getting to see everything going here. Good news is you haven't missed much. One pass for the lead here at the beginning of the race, and that was Robert Kahn getting around Derek Paulson, and he has since checked out 1.5 second lead for the 28 at the front. Top Paulson in third place, Dalton Kilroe, Joshua Divers in your top 5, Brian Dees, DJ Mitchell in 6th and 7th. Ryan Allen up 12 spots in the 87 as he is in 8th place. Joseph Grijalva in 9th place is up 9 spots. And then Brandon Meir rounding out your top 10 as you got Frank Hughes, Tim Williams, John Garrett, Ty Marasco, Mike Casey in your top 15.
All right. Just so much going on and some great to the Grijalva as he works his way around number 87 Ryan Allen. So Joseph Grijalva up 10 spots so far. Ryan Allen up 11 spots as well. So 2 drivers that are battling on the track right now, having a fantastic start to their race here tonight. Seen that number 10 his trials and tribulations last week as he was wrapped up in probably a few more incidents that he would like, and came away with a half decent finish last week, and this week we're looking to better that one again and move his way up to the field. We got some battling going on right back here for the 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th area where the drivers are still battling 2 wide. See almost going 3 wide there as they are working their way around the front stretch.
Easy for you to say as they will start lap number 24 right now, and back here in 14th through about 18th. Again, you can throw a blanket over 7 cars right now, actually 6 cars, as getting very close. And I mean, seeing inside the car, I mean, granted, as if you want to consider an iRacing glitch, they're not that close that you're seeing inside the bumper, but looks like 3 wide. The 72 getting a little bit wide, but man, really close battling here. Now they will go 3 wide heading to the trial, but the 45 of Williams going to back out of that one, and it is going to be side by side going through 1 and 2. So 25 laps now. They're on lap 25, 24 down, and the battling's still hot and heavy, but at the front, bit of a breakaway for your first couple drivers. Robert Kahn out to a 1-second lead. Derek Paulson reeling him in little by little here as he's just a smidge faster, about 0.2 of a second faster right now than Robert Kahn. But these two have got another 2 seconds back to 3rd place, Dalton Kilroe.
And they're able to do that, and hopefully they're able to resume their time. We're at that time frame car right now where that front line is probably screaming at some of these drivers, wanting to come in and get changed. Target's extremely tight coming out of 4. They're trying to get that car turned down, so it's going to make pitting a challenge. So I'm hoping that the drivers practice their pitting here tonight as we are a good green flag on 27 of 120. It's single file for a good chunk of the field through the pack here, trying to beat through. Again, if you have any driver, you can see what just let us know there in the chat, and I will do my best to kind of see what's going on.
Looks like Joshua Diver's in the pits here, so not sure if this is an early pit or if we're already in the pit window. Seems kind of early, but not sure what is going. Actually, now it looks like he's registered back in 4th, so not sure if he blinked out for quite some time because I see him dropping all the way down through the order, but still gets registered here in 4th place. Robert Smith is indeed in the pits. Looks like he is now rolling again and coming back out. As we have 32 drivers that took the green flag here tonight. Michael Eden in the 8 and Billy Van Meer in the 23 did not take the green flag, and we have not seen them yet here tonight. But Robert Smith is your first one into pit lane here on lap 26 is when he came in, and he is now coming back out. So you see him right there. So not sure if this was an unscheduled pit stop due to some damage, or if he's taking an early pit stop here tonight. As I figure these guys are probably going to be looking at a two-stop strategy, but I mean, you see that front right there. Robert Smith definitely has some damage on the 08 machine, which is why he probably had to come in there and could have had a flat tire or something go on there. But now Brandon Meer coming in from 17th position, as he is, I mean, he looks pretty clean there, so we could be at the front end of some pit stops here on lap number 30 of 20. So could end up being a 3-stop race here tonight.
Yeah, I'm thinking so, Carl. Again, depending on the time of situation and how many left in the pits, it's really going to make a difference when these drivers, take them tires, because they're going to make a huge difference here tonight. A lot of wear and tear on that front right, like I said, and now you see the 16 getting around the 28 of Robert Kahn as well, and the 31 of 120. So 16 out front now for the lead. So it looks like we have continue drivers coming down the pits here to come in and get some fuel. As you see, some vehicles going up for a change of tires, at least for the right sides and left sides for the number 17. But Derek Paulson,
we were definitely in the pit window. Tons of drivers coming in.
Yeah, lap 32. We're looking, at least 3 stops here tonight, unless somebody can stretch it out.
Yeah, majority of the field now coming into the pits. Only the top 10 have yet to come into the pits, and that includes Derek Paulson, who's now going to come into pit lane. Very close here, heading into 3 and 4, but Dalton Kilrow going to stay out for another lap and grab a lap lead. And it looks like Todd Boston probably didn't want to stay out, as he is now down on the apron. Now the question is, can he limp around and get back into pit lane? This is going to be really tough in that Shooter McGavin Motorsports number 31, as Kilrow, Blunt, and Todd Boston right here with 3 remaining cars that have yet to come into the pits, as he's all the way down on the inside, and that thing looks like it's running very, very slow. So not sure if he is clutched in, just trying to make that thing around, if he's got a little bit that he's trying to maybe get one more shot of gas here before we get going, but that is a little bit too slow there for the 31, and I don't think he's going to make it around. Dalton Kilrow now into the pits, and the yellow flag comes out, and that could have very well been for the car we were just watching right there. We've seen it happen on Tuesday night, where realistically, a weak caution for a single car all the way down on the inside of the track, not anywhere close to the racing line, but because he ran out of fuel, because he stopped, it is a caution, and the first one here tonight on lap 34. And now, where does this put everybody? And there's a ton of guys that are lapped down. Obviously, they're going to stay out there to get that lap back, but a few of the drivers staying out there to the last minute. Eric Blunt still out there. And you talk about his nice car. I mean, that is nice and shiny, but is that fuel tank shiny enough to get him around for another lap here to get back up to the pace car and coming into the pits, because he is still yet to come into the pits here tonight. I mean, they are definitely in the catbird seat compared to everybody else that has already come into the pits, but he's got to make that thing around to pit lane to make this thing, really come true here. But caution on the speedway here on lap number 35 of 120 here at Kentucky.
It's going to be, I think, a close one here for the 6. Hopefully he has the field, or at least the momentum to get him down in the pit lane. As you can see him, well, I guess he's going about the same pace as the pace car there, so it'll be interesting for the 6, as he is going to be able to make at least a pit lane, if he can make it down to his pit stop and able to get his fuel and tires at the start of the next portion of this race. So this is going to kind of throw a wrench in, almost a gift there for the number 6.
I mean, most of the field had already come down and made their pit stop, but there were definitely several that were still waiting to kind of get back on the lead lap. And the caution is definitely going to mess with some of these driver strategies. Some more coming back in here, maybe topping off. He's got Len McNeese, Maxwell Caldwell, Joseph Grahala, and Cade Green all coming into pit lane to top off. But we'll see where this shakes out. And looks like Robert Kahn is going to shuffle back to the lead with Derek Paulson, Joshua Divers, Ty Marasco, Dalton Kilrow, your top 5. With DJ Mitzel, Mike Hasty, Eric Blunt, and Frank Hughes, Len McNeese, your top 10, as it keeps kind of shuffling back and forth here. I'm sure we'll see quite a few drivers taking a wave around to get back on the lead lap here, but I mean, it's the worst kind of timing when that caution comes out right in the middle of a pit strategy, and you see all those guys from 23rd on down. They're not a lap down because they're slow and because they got passed on track. They just picked the wrong time to come into the pits, and they're going to need maybe another caution here to get back up there.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of drivers in front of that number 28 of Robert Kahn, so go ahead and hop on the rooftop there up to 28, so everybody out there can kind of see the amount of cars that are up there in front of them waiting to get that wave around, or waiting to be able to get around and get to the back of the field, and that will put Robert Kahn on point for the start of. I'm going to go back to green, so just waiting for maybe right about now. See what's going on. Maybe I'm not sure. I guess we have another caution going on.
Well, we got some time. Want to give a few shout outs here. First off to the sponsors here for the series, that being Gold Line Guardians, Fort Worth Screen Printing, and Hilton Crafts and Designs. Also want to give a shout out to all of you out there in CRN Nation, and want to thank you to getting us to the number we've been looking to try and get to for quite some time now. It's been a goal for us for quite a while to get to 1,000 subscribers, so thank you to everyone that has tuned into CRN to any of our races, for hitting that subscribe button, for hitting all those thumbs up, and cranking these videos up to the max, because it's been a fun ride all the way to this point. Hopefully everybody out there likes the product that we're putting out there. I know these leagues that we put on here certainly give us a great product to broadcast, and these guys here at VVR are second to none when it comes to these next gen cars, and putting on some great performances. So thank you to everyone out there that has helped us kind of cross the first finish line, if you will, for CRN.
Yeah, so definitely gave me some work to do this weekend. So I have a little bit of research and some paperwork to submit. So I look forward to it. It's just our next step in our journey here at CRN. I'll let you know all the great leagues that we've had podcasts. I can't thank any of them. Moving so to be able to spend the time to cover these races, call them, embrace my situations of some of these great drivers. As we were talking earlier, and talk about the great magician, but the number 71. I think giving me a shout out there with this is say my name on the side of his car. So
side of it on the hood, it's everywhere.
Yeah, it is everywhere. So I appreciate it. It was good talking to you. Appreciate the shot. You guys do put on a good show here. In the field, in the front, and that's what we're trying to do here at Sierra, and then not just focus on the leaders, but to focus on everybody as best as we can to show the great battles throughout the field, because we all know you have your fast guys, and the winner's always the leader's always a good focus, but sometimes the leader's so good and they got this track nailed down where they just walk away. We're going to see if the number 28 going to walk away again as that pace car goes off into the entry.
One of the things we do towards the end of the races is we give everyone out there in Sierra Nation a little love to hear it. I think on this restart, Jimmy, why don't we go ahead and crank it up and listen to all these cars as they're all packed together here, and give a little bonus love to hear it for everyone out there.
Love to hear it. We have our first big one tonight on lap 43 of 120 with Maxwell and Frank Hughes. So we'll go back and double check to see kind of what happened here. Take a bird's eye view as they're running almost 4 wide.
Well, they are running 4 wide, and that never spells anything good here at Kentucky. Fortunately, it looks like Tim Williams getting involved in that one as well. But the 95 getting hooked straight across everyone. And
what a miss.
Maxwell looks like nobody really getting major damage, all things considered. As Jimmy mentioned, these drivers don't have the comfort of a fast repair. They need to come in and repair any damage that is done if they choose to. But it doesn't look like anybody getting too much damage here in this wreck. It did involve 3 cars as we're seeing it here, but that is going to bring us under, I guess, if you want to consider this our first official caution. I mean, the first one, a driver running out of fuel on the backstretch, that's not a caution. I know it brought everybody back together, and it was technically a caution, but this is our first official caution here of the race on lap 44, but it gets a little interesting from here. We'll see how many cars decide to come down to pit lane. A couple fake outs here at the front, but we will see some guys dive in here and top off on fuel, and you see, the back half of the field all coming down in here, led by Brandon Mayer and Len McNeese and the 84. Going to lead down a bunch of drivers here to at least come in and top off, and we'll see, I'm sure, a lot of those drivers that are a lap down would have loved to see the entire field come in here, but it looks like only the lucky dog is going to benefit from this caution here, as it is on lap 45 of 120. So a third of the race done here, but we've still got a lot of racing to go.
Plenty of racing to go. 45 20. They do have a tendency, obviously, to get those extended green flag runs here, so a little bit of extra fuel could go a long way if they can stay out on them tires and a caution were to come out. But this might benefit to some of these drivers here in the first quarter of the race or third of the race here. So we will see if this was the play that was needed, or staying out like Robert Kahn was the call. But I see Ty Marasco working his way up front right now as well, moving up there into Pete number 2, just there in front of Derek Paulson. DJ Mitzel and the number 4 Pennzoil machine, Mike Hasty. I talked to him a little bit here tonight too, and he said he was a back marker, but that doesn't look like the back there, Mike. Obviously, he is up 11 spots, but our biggest mover so far with all the cautions and everything going on right now is Michael Benedetto, the number 25. He's up 15 spots, currently in Pete number 13.
Yeah, I mean, it's still plenty early in this race. Only one official caution here, but it certainly has shaken up the field here a bit with the 2 cautions happening kind of back to back here. Again, majority of the field staying out under this caution, as looks like the top 11 cars, all the way back to Jimmy's boy here, Hemi, last one staying out here on under the yellow flag here. But Robert Kahn is leading the way. He's led the way most of this race so far. Ty Marasco has, we do see him up there in second place. We've seen that number 1 towards the front of the field in quite a few races. It's really putting the end of the race together for Ty Marasco, and we've seen it over the past couple weeks doing pretty decent here, and actually finishing the race. It's kind of been hit or miss for the number 1 team, but again, nothing too terrible so far for that 16. Derek Paulson still hanging right up there inside the top 3, and I think he's more than happy to be right there, because hanging up there at the front of the field has worked out very, very well for him all season, with 4 races inside the top 2 so far. So he certainly knows how to finish out a race and close this thing out. But as it stands, getting ready for the green flag, it is going to be Robert Kahn, Ty Marasco, Derek Paulson, DJ Mitzel, your top 4, Mike Hasty, Dalton Kilrow, Joseph Grijalva, Joshua Divers, Ryan Dees, and Craig Lerman, your top 10.
Your cars coming in the pits, whether it's the top off, hopefully they get speed in their pit entry under caution, because those usually suck. I don't have any words for it.
How do you really feel, Jimmy?
They suck. I had them done. Carl, I was at Bristol racing the trucks, and I kept coming in the wrong entry when the cautions would come on. I was an official, so the cautions would come on a lot. So I was taking the wrong entry every single time and having to start in the back of the field. And it wasn't no big deal, because I was working on my truck, so I had some damage from an earlier incident. I had some front end damage, but once I finally figured out I was doing the pit entry, I started moving my way through the field, ended up finishing in the top 10. So I felt pretty good after I kind of figured out what was going on. I was like, man, it's such a new, I kind of believe, because I haven't been road or oval racing in such a long time, and it was a major mistake, but I was able to just keep taking the penalty of being in the back, at the longest line in the back.
Nice and safe back there, especially at Bristol. There's nothing going on at Bristol. Well, we're back racing here at Kentucky, as Robert Kahn back on the loud pedal. Good restart here for the 28. The 1 of Marasco looks like he's going to hang on to second. He's got his teammate there, Derek Paulson, on the inside, and he is doing a little bit of battling with the 4 of DJ Mitzel, but Marasco going to file into second, Paulson into third, Mitzel into fourth. Right behind them is the 41 of Kilrow, Hasty, Grijalva, Divers, Brian Dees, and Craig Lerman, your top 10 here on the restart on lap number 48, as getting close to that midway point. But taking a look at the upcoming schedule here, 2 weeks from now, we're going to be doing 1.5 mile travel again, as we'll head to Kansas Speedway. But in between there, a track that we've talked about many times here, Dover. Dover is coming up next week, and it's a track that can be very fast. It's some nice high banking there, but the concrete mile and Miles the Monster is lurking at every little point there, and you make one wrong mistake coming off the corner of 2, coming off the corner of 4, and it's going to bite you real bad. But these drivers got to handle Kentucky first and get through. Here is very close there with the 4 and 41 in turns 1 and 2, but leading the way, Ty Marasco, your new leader, as Robert Kahn has slipped back to 5th.
A rough start there from Robert Kahn, but might be just trying to conserve the tires just a little bit, as he knows that, like I said, they do fall off at about 15 laps or so. Letting cars staying out might be looking to try to conserve just a little bit to kind of narrow that gap, and hopefully only have to stop one more. But right now we're at then that's Grijalva goes around, but they're able to keep it going straight.
Oh, wait, no. Grijalva takes a hard hit in the outside wall there. And coming down, not sure if he has total control of that 10. Looks like he finally has. I was just about to say MFRD had the top 3 spots, and Grijalva trying to mix it up there and break up the teammates, but gets together with your points leader there, Derek Paulson, and he's the one that gets a little bit sideways and took a shot to the outside wall. We'll take a look at it here again, coming out of turn number 2. This is heading down to the backstretch, and looks like the 16 drifts up a little bit, gets into the 10, and 16 gets a little bit sideways, but it's a second touch right here that gets the 10 super sideways. We'll see if there's any kind of damage to the front end of the 16. Doesn't look like anything too bad, and look like both drivers are going to get away scot-free, but then it's the extra correction right here that certainly had to be scaring Robert Kahn right there, and hard 34. Impact with the 34 of Brandon Muir. But that is going to bring us under caution here again at Kentucky, and looks like majority of the field coming in this time, at least the front half of the field. Brian Dees, Michael Benedetto going to stay out, but a lot of the rest of the field coming in. Looks like Maxwell Caldwell, Chris Moreland, and Douglas Jones going to stay out. A lot of drivers coming in here and at least taking fuel here. See the 10 coming in, probably going to have to repair a little bit of damage. Looks like a little bit of wrinkle in the front of that 16 as well, though, Jimmy.
Yeah, 16's got pretty good front end damage, and might see a little extended stay here for that 16 to see if he can repair some of that, as he has fresh new tires that has been taken, but he's going to, I think, elect to stay and try to maximize his repairs. As you see the car shifting back and forth a little bit, and then those will pop out there, so that's a good sign there for the 16. He's just going to have to work his way back through the field. Plenty of time to do it, as we're only on the 53 of 120, but 16 away to get this thing rolling again. But Brian Dees, like you said, staying up front. The 17, using that high line. I was watching the 17 earlier, just running a very different line from a lot of the other drivers. So we'll see if the 17 continues to use that line here as we get started. But Michael Benedetto there in P number 2, he is up 26 spots, Carl. And then Douglas R. Johnson there in the Goodrunch car, number 3, up 25 spots. So a couple of big movers here, almost mid-race.
I mean, you look at your top 5 right now as Maxwell Caldwell comes into the pits. Your top 5 right now are up 6, 26, 16, 26, and 12. Actually, 13 now for Grijalva, as he is going to get in and out and hopefully take care of any repairs, as he is back out there in the top 5. So, I mean, if that crew fixed that car up and still got him out there in the top 5, I mean, it looks pretty dang clean to me, Jimmy. I mean, what a job for the 10 crew. Certainly, I mean, sign them up for an F1 team. I mean, that is lickety split. Getting that car repaired and getting back out there inside the top 5 for Grijalva. We'll see what he can do. See if he can make his way back up there. But we are on lap number 54, so getting close to your halfway point here at Kentucky.
I think Grijalva brought his karting team crew in or something, Carl, because that thing is, it almost looks like it's brand new, like nothing ever happened. And I come back out there in P number 5. I mean, that's just I mean, it's rough, especially when you get sent sideways, kind of get involved with a few other cars. But also the number 16, their iRacing's crew did a pretty good job on that. The front end had a pretty good dent there, right dead center, but the crew was able to pull that out. So looks like the aerodynamics are back on the 16 as well. Front and back look okay. Yeah, I mean, that's just where my camera is. Everything looks good to go on that board.
Yeah, looks like it's all fixed, and it's bad enough when you have that hood crinkled in a little bit, and you're kind of almost like a snow plow with how much air that thing is just sucking up. But getting that splitter back flat and getting that downforce going in and through the corners is that much bigger, and it looked like the 16 was able to get everything fixed and is back out there. But now buried in the pack, so we've seen Derek Paulson up at the front in the top 3 for the entire race so far. Now he is in 20th position. So we'll see how that car handles back there in traffic, see if he can work his way back through, see if he's still got full power, full downforce to make his way through the field. But as it stands right now, Brian Dees is the man that is going to control the start of this race. Michael Benedetto in second. Chris Moreland, Douglas Johnson, Joseph Grijalva, your top 5. With Cade Green, Robert Kahn, John Garrett, Dalton Kilroe, DJ Mitchell, your top 10.
Yeah, I got a shout out there from Michael Ravolo for Cade Green, as he has made his way up 10 spots here tonight. So start 16th, currently up in P number 6. See if he can continue his march forward, as he's having a pretty good run here, able to stay out of the incidents on the track, and right now has a pretty good track position for a great finish as they get ready to go back to green.
And control car is on the outside here, the 17 of Brian Dees, and we are waiting for him to jump on that lap pedal as he does right now. Great start on the outside all by himself, as he is going to charge into turn number 1. Benedetto going to jump into second place right there. Douglas Johnson, Cade Green doing battle into turn 1, but great start for the 17. Great start for the 25 as they try and pull away from the rest of this field. But that little bit of draft that you're getting here down the backstretch, it seems like it's really kind of holding this pack together for the most part. But I'm seeing more lines than I expected here at Kentucky, and you mentioned it multiple times now. Brian Dees working that high line, really trying to work it in, really trying to rubber it in up there, and it seems to be working. He's in first, so it's not bad for sure.
I would say it is more, I guess, sketchy. You really need to know how these cars handle to run with like knowing the width of the car, when the car is going to start getting tight, so you don't hit that wall, especially running that extreme high line. And that's what the 17 is doing right now. As you can tell, it goes down across the inside of the track. It goes to that high side below the corners. He's able to bring that car down, get a good run onto the up through the apex, the exit of turn 2. He's working down the backstretch right now, heading into turn number 3. And this is where you'll see him run a little bit higher line than most of the other cars out there, almost only a car width from the wall. So, and it's
we got another incident on the backstretch.
Len McNeese puts Moreland in third, it looks like. We'll find out what happened here. Ooh.
Well, jumping right in, right when it happened here, looks like the 24 a little bit slow coming off the corner and really bottlenecks a few cars coming off there. Looks like the 1671 going to make it by, but you see quite a few more cars making it into here. And the 6 right there of Eric Blunt getting involved in the wreck big time. Another hard impact as he's down there on the bottom. And just a prime example of when a caution comes out like this, I get it. As a driver, you think, you see 2, 3, 4, 5 other cars slowing down, and those are, some free spots, but it's not worth it. You got to get off the gas. As soon as you see cars slowing up, especially as soon as the yellow flag comes out, get off the gas, lightly get on the brakes. Keep your eye on the mirror as well. You don't want anybody, tagging you from behind. I get that, but you got to keep your eyes forward, and there's no reason to be hitting somebody at full speed because you're just trying to get through that wreck. You got to get on the brakes. You got to be smart when it comes to these incidents.
Yeah, and right now, if I see a lot of drivers coming down on the pits right now, I'll go ahead and bring up the timing tower so you guys can see what everybody's kind of doing down there in pit lane. You can see the red obviously in the pits right now, and then obviously they go pit exit is when they're leaving. So a lot of drivers coming down to kind of top off, I would imagine. And I don't know if they're grabbing tires or not right now, Carl, but they're at that point. We've seen the drivers going right around 30, 31, 32 laps on a tank of gas. So this would mean these drivers that just pit right now definitely only have one or more pit stop remaining to make it to the end of the race here tonight. But yeah, some unfortunate events there. The cars getting together, and maybe just that incident there was just like a checkup or something where somebody was trying to lose it. These cars are very hard to catch when they start going around. It's one of the more difficult cars that I've driven, that when you lose it, trying to regain it back, and it's sometimes it's an assist from somebody going by and will bump you straight easier than you trying to fix it yourself. So yeah, it's a very unique car as far as trying to catch it once you lose it. So right now, Joseph Grijalva has made his way back up into P number 2. So and Cade Green out there from Michael on that number 19 out front right now.
Yeah, but I'm really surprised at how many drivers decided to stay out there, as we are at the halfway point right now. And, like you said, Jimmy, from here should be one more stop for the drivers that came into the pits. I mean, the ones out front right now, you have the top 8 guys last pitting on lap 52. So they're going to need to really stretch this thing out on the last 2 fuel runs to have any kind of shot of making this thing all the way to the end. As we're taking a look back here at the incident, and not sure what slowed up the 24 there of Tim Lee, but now coming back in the pits and maybe getting a little bit more repaired before we get this restart underway. But yeah, I'm questioning the top 8 right now, unless they're thinking that maybe cautions are starting to breed cautions here, and they're trying to kind of work a different strategy than the rest of the field. But certainly from 9th on back, if this thing stays green, are looking pretty good here on fuel.
Yeah, and just got a shout there from Daniel Porter. He wanted to see Michael Pratt's point of view of that incident, and was able to get his car slowed down there from the bottom. It's kind of wrecking in front of him, and you could see some major damage right there. A few of their machines, you see the 38 with his tires kind of sticking out to the right side. So yeah, some big damage to some cars out there. Pratt was able to work his way through there cleanly. So he right now, where is Pratt? Right, he is now apparently in P number 13, and that almost looks like it's a camouflage type of paint job. I almost call it Legos, and I'm a big fan of Legos. So hey, if you need a paint, Mike, Michael Pratt, Lego.
He's halfway there, just needs a little stuff on all those little pieces right there. But looks like we are bunching the drivers up one more time here on lap number 62. We're going to get fired away again. It is going to be Cade Green, your control car at the front, with Joseph Grijalva on the front row with him, DJ Mitzel, Robert Kahn, Dalton Kilrow, your top 5, Joshua Divers, Mike Hasty, Hemi Gardini, in 8th place, Brian Dees and Michael Benedetto, your top 10. But again, we're only at the halfway point here. We've got a lot of racing to go. Hopefully these drivers kind of sort it out here, get back to green flag racing, and we can see some good battles out here on the track.
Yeah, I think overall, the racing's been really good tonight. Obviously, is people, I think, start getting in that halfway mark area. They start thinking about getting in a position of having a great finish and trying to, push their car maybe just a little bit harder to get that spot, because passing is pretty difficult here. I mean, there is multiple lines of race, so that makes things a little bit easier. But the 19 is going to bring these guys down to the green flag right now. At 19, the shift there by the 19, so he's going to get not a super great start. The 10 is going to get a real good start on the outside, so I'll put that 10 of Joseph Grijalva on the outside in the lead. The 19 has the inside line as they head down through turns 1 and 2. They almost touch, but the 19 is able to keep off of the 10 and keep everything going good to go there, as DJ Mitchell, that number 4, is on the outside as well, looking to kind of catbird a spot away. Goes to the inside, making going 3 wide. 28 on the outside as well.
What a battle here at the front, guys, weaving back and forth, and that's not what you want to be doing here at the front for sure. Definitely got to keep that thing straight, and everybody is going to work their way out of that, but Robert Kahn wants his way back at the front, still battling back here in the back half of the top 10, as you get the 57 of Joshua Divers trying to work his way up to the front. Gets very close there with the 72 of Mike Hasty. Now to the inside of Cade Green here, trying to move himself into the top 4. Good run here for the 57. And man, a lot of diving around here and switching of positions. And these are all guys on the same tire strategy. It's not like they're up there, they got fresh tires or anything like that, moving their way through the field. Derek Paulson is one of the guys that pit on lap number 59, currently in 6th place right now, working his way back up through the field. But he only took fuel. It's not like he's got fresh tires. All these drivers up here have the same tire strategy, but out front and trying to run away from the field, Joseph Grijalva in the 10.
Run. He wants to get away from as many cars as possible. Joe has had his ups and downs, especially the last race, and he's almost out a few here that could have ended his race. So it's good to see Joe finally in that clean air. We'll see if he can push that number 10, stretch it out just a little bit, but that 28 of Robert Kahn isn't going to let him go. He's starting to track him down as he has made his way back to Pete number 2. DJ Mitchell there in 3rd. Joshua Divers has moved up to Pete number 4. Derek Paulson has been working his way up here silently after getting into himself in an incident earlier. He had some damage, but movement net number 16 back to the front.
Yeah, big move there. Looked like he was going to go 3 wide with Divers and Mitchell, but ended up falling it back into place here in 5th place, as Divers was unable to make the pass there on Mitchell as well. Mike Hasty on the outside, on the inside here, battling it with Brian Dees, as Dees trying to come back up through the field. Another one of those drivers that came down here on lap number 59, trying to work their way back up through the field with just taking a little fuel on that last pit stop, trying to make it one more stop here on the race. And again, all these drivers up here that pit on lap 52, I really worry if this thing goes green the whole way, they're going to have to make it a good amount of laps to be able to make this thing all the way to the end. I mean, you figure they're going to have to make it a good, I don't know. It's tough to say, but I mean, they're going to have to make it closer, to 35 laps to make it all the way to the end of this race. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be a long stretch. We'll see how it all pans out. We still got a lot of racing to go here. Robert Kahn moves himself into the lead once more, gets around Joseph Grijalva at the front. DJ Mitchell in 3rd, Derek Paulson, Joshua Divers in your top 5, Kilroe, Green, Hasty, Dees, and Benedetto your top 10.
Timmy working his way up through the field there, and currently up into P number 15, up 11 spots here so far tonight in that number 24.
Definitely going to give him a little bit there, since he was one of the main culprits there on that last caution, and I'm sure he's kicking himself for that. But good to see the 24 out there in the field. I know with his work commitments that it takes him away from the races here more often than he'd like to be. But good to see that 24 of Tim Lee back out in the field, the man behind the curtains here at VVR. And the reason you guys are getting to enjoy this racing here on the CRN network, but Joseph Grijalva was not happy and content in second place. He is battling with Robert Kahn as we've got a battle for the lead. Grijalva on the outside, Kahn on the inside. Give that lap to Grijalva and work it on that outside. Question is, who's burning off more tires right now? I mean, we seen Robert Kahn out there to a nice early lead over Derek Paulson, but towards the end of that run, Paulson was able to run him down and take over that lead. So, you know, I'm wondering how much these drivers are burning up tires right now, as Paulson is now the man in third once again. I'm sure just kind of licking his chops, but waiting for these guys to just burn them up.
Yeah, just a good run all around. I see Dalton Coro working his way up to the field as well. Currently up there in P number 4 car. So MFRD doing their thing, getting back up to the front. But a lot of drivers trying to mix it up there and knock them off the podium. We have plenty of talent out there to do so. Like Aiden Green doing a fantastic job. He's just slid back just a little bit, but not too far. He's not out of it yet, that's for sure. He's at 19. He's currently sitting in P number 6, followed by Mike Hasty. Like I said, Mike was bluffing or something. I was like, this is not the back, Mike.
We had the same thing last night in our broadcast. Myself and Joseph, as we had our winner in the AM class there for the CSRL GT3 series, saying that it was a bit of a fluke last week of him finishing well and finishing in second place. Then all of a sudden he goes out and wins the AM class. So maybe a little bit of the same thing, you know, just keeping those cards tight to the vest and don't want to play himself up too much, and you know, get the drivers looking at him, get the drivers thinking, well, he's a threat. And I don't know. No, I'm here for the safety rating. I'm here to just you know, get around here, and I'm not a threat at all. Don't worry about me, guys. And let me just go ahead and oh, by the way, I'm on the podium.
And a lot of drivers are humble, like with their you know, talent and skill, and sometimes don't realize how good they are, or maybe they've had a lot of practice, and it really shows when you're out there and you keep doing extended runs. And like I said, here tonight, it's not only being able to good laps around this racetrack, but it's, you know, staying out of the incidents, being able to manage damage on the cars, you know, continue to run up front. The 10 and the 16 are big examples of that so far here tonight. Being involved in some incidents and able to be quick still, and was able to not take too much damage before they had to burn up the time. But the cautions, I think, played in their favor a little bit, allowing them to get that damage under control and find themselves currently in first and third for the 10 and 16. But there's a lot of good battling elsewhere as well, as DJ Metzel has his hands full, as Mike Hasty is on that back bumper looking to get around Joshua Divers back there, P number 7. We've usually seen him come on pretty strong late in the race, looking to move that number 57 machine to the front as well. Another driver that we like to keep track of a lot is the number 77, Michael Paul. Currently right now sitting in P number 16, up 16 spots, working his way slowly forward through the field to you know, hopefully get another great finish here. But we're on lap 79 of 120, and Joseph Grijalva is out front.
Quite a few drivers out of the race right now, with Craig Lerman in 28th, Todd Pawson in the pits in 29th, Frank Hughes, Tim Williams, and Billy Van Meter, actually Tim Williams, those drivers out of the race currently. But Billy Van Meter 50 laps down, and he has finally made it to the track, finally made it to the race here in the number 23. Again, you know, 50 laps down, but he has passed one person, as he's gotten around Robert Smith, who is also out of this race. So 33 cars now credited with taking some laps here at Kentucky, and we are back under caution. And trying to take a look and see where that was. Looks like it involves a 38 here. Ooh, getting tagged by the 6. A big run there by Eric Blunt. And getting into the back of the 38. That is going to bring out another caution for us here. Doesn't look like 6 got too much damage there and was able to save it from going off of the wall. But the 38 definitely is going to be the one that catches a bit of damage here by tagging the outside wall. Not too much. Could have been certainly a lot worse, but you're going to have to slap some tape on the front end of that car and get that thing back out there for Hilton Young. But it's going to bring us under another caution and an interesting time here in the race for a caution.
Definitely interesting.
80, too far to stretch this thing out. Too far.
Yeah,
Even if you come in and top off at the end of this pit stop, end of this caution flag, you're not going to be able to make it to the end. But all those drivers that I was wondering about that pit on lap 52, you got to come in here, don't you? You got to come in and top off.
I mean, I don't know. Do they have enough to make it to the point where, you know, they're going to come in anyways? I mean, I see some drivers obviously taking advantage of the situation right now. It looks like
majority of the front of the field is
so. Joseph Hall coming in, obviously, he does not want to put himself in a situation where he is battling tires or fuel at the moment. We're at a good stage of the track. Take tires and fuel, I believe, Carl. So 10 is in and out and away, as a lot of drivers are still coming down the pit lane. But I think some pit strategy from some of the other drivers is going to put the 10 back in the field just a little bit.
25 cutting across, maybe trying to slow up the 10, but ends up poking himself into the wall. But Cade Green, the 19, getting called out earlier by the fans out there in Sierra Nation, he is back to the point. He did not come down pit road. So very interesting strategy here. Unfortunately for some of those drivers, like you're looking right behind him there, Todd Merkel is just, I'm sure he's lighting up the radio right now, like, Cade, take the pits. I want to get a lap back. I stayed out here for a reason. But unfortunately for him, it looks like the 19 is going to stay out here. And he is going to try and run this thing and grab one more pit stop. Or maybe just wanted another lap led. He is going to now bring the 19 into pit lane. So taking it a lap later here. And maybe we'll see him come down again and top that thing off. But that's going to bring Derek Paulson back to the lead. Your pole sitter here to start the race is going to be back at the front, and the second place starter, Robert Kahn, is going to be right there in second. So we've had 83 laps. We've had a bunch go on. But first and second are back to first and second, Jimmy.
Things far from over, Carl. You never know what's going to happen. We see these drivers, you know, have been towards the front of the races the majority of the weeks, you know, and have had great battles, trading wins, and but MFRD has been working really hard to basically claim, you know, 1, 2, 3 as best they can. And right now we have a few people kind of throwing a wrench in that. You got Robert Kahn up there. You got DJ Mitchell up there. It's Brian Dees is an MFRD guy. Max Caldwell up there, 95. We haven't talked about the 95 very much tonight, but he did start in P number 4. So been kind of quiet, but he's sitting in P number 6 right now in that Merkle machine. So we'll see if that 95 can even work his way up the front and contend for a podium or even the win. So, and quietly moving his way forward. We've talked about him briefly pretty much every single race, and that's the 84 Western Union machine. I almost want to say call up Darrell Waltrip and see if he's out there in the car, but just doing fantastic, just trying to make his way forward and get great finishes every single week. So a good job there by Len McNeese.
Very interesting to see how this thing is going to play out, as Derek Paulson has been a dominant force this season for sure, and he's going to start at the front again. He is your control car. Robert Kahn only showing up to 2 races so far this year, one of them being at Vegas, where he dominated and took the win. And again, this is a 1.5-mile sister track to Vegas, so we'll see if the 28's got something for Derek Paulson again on the start of this race. Paulson got out to the lead, but Khan took very little time to get around him and try to check out a bit before late in the run. The 16 kind of showed his muscle and fought back to take back the lead. So it's kind of been back and forth for these two drivers this entire race. We've got, what do we got, 36 laps to go here at the restart, and still got plenty of drivers still in the field, and a lot of them still under some clean cars as well. So this thing is not over for a lot of drivers. Got some drivers now buried back in the pack here a little bit, as you get Ty Marasco was up there for a bit. Now he is back there in 10th place. Joshua Divers back there in 12th. Michael Pratt back there in 13th. But at front, it is going to be Derek Paulson, Robert Kahn on the front row, DJ Mitzel, Dalton Kilrow in the second row, and you got Brian Dees, Mike Casey in your third row. But Paulson back on the loud pedal, going to bring his teammates to the 41 of Kilrow with him. Great restart on the inside. Robert Kahn now going to try and fight off DJ Mitzel for third, heading into turn one, just going to come down in front of him. But we are back under yellow. We've got some major incidents happening back in the middle of the field.
With the 84, Len McNeese. There's just stuck. Oh my goodness. We'll see what happened with the 84 here in just a second. Oof.
Oh, wow. Might have to rewind it and see what transpired right there, because that 84 shot up pretty quickly, and it looks like we went 3 wide on the restart here. The 10 getting a good run on the restart. That is Joseph Grijalva. Dives down to the inside, heading into turn number 1, and that ended up spelling disaster for Len McNeese, as setting it down on the apron. And the apron can be used here. That yellow line is not a a no zone. But I mean, just a hard impact that brings in quite a few drivers here, as 10 clearly on the inside. That the 84 comes down, ends up collecting the 25. And a lot of drivers just really nowhere to go. You see Ty Marasco getting caught up into that one. Looks like the 12 of Moreland and the 57 of Divers going to get on by, as is Tim Lee and a few others sneaking by. So maybe at least those two cars kind of just washed up to the top. It looked like there was more involved when I initially saw it, but maybe just a two-car incident here is going to bring us under another caution. And now, Jimmy, now we're getting close to can you stretch it to this pit stop, and that's it. Now it gets interesting. I mean, we are 34 laps to go at this point. If you come in and top off at the end of this green, or this yellow flag, if it goes green, you could be good to the end. I think I know track position has got to be, it has been pretty big here tonight, but there has been passing made. I feel like if you're anywhere in the back half of the top 10 or even further back, you got to come in here, you top off, and you run this thing to the end, and you come back in again, with 2 to green, top off one more time just to give you that little bit of extra cushion. But we've seen guys go 30 plus laps here under green. If it stays green, you could be sitting pretty here if you're one of these first guys that comes into the pits.
Yeah, you've seen a few of the drivers come in already, and they might be going through the leaders' minds right now. As some of the, see, I have pit laps up when they came in, so they're up there at 86 with Joshua Divers. I think is in a pretty good position. These top and. Are in a position that they need to, they're lifting right now. They're getting a little bit of momentum and letting off the gas. It's one of the ways that iRacing kind of calculates fuel. Clutching in doesn't really do much. You have to let off that throttle position plays a big role in saving fuel. And you might even see some drivers really coming down to the bottom or the apron, trying to save as much as possible. So we'll see if those drivers that came in there on lap 86, there's a few in there. As a matter of fact, Joseph Grijalva in there at lap 87 is a good call, I believe, too. I think it's really putting to the point where he's not even going to have to save it all. He'll be able to go all out the rest of the way. regardless of what happens. And if another caution comes out, they'll definitely put in a position of the opportunity to pull away a podium here tonight. But MFRD up front right now, Derek Paulson, Dalton Kilroe, Robert Kahn trying to throw in the mix there, and then back there DJ Mitchell, Brian Dees, and the number 17. We've seen him up there all night long running that extremely high line. Mike Hasty back there, P number 6. P number 7 is Chris Moreland, and that number 12 quietly working his way through. Tim Lee has broken the top 10 now, and currently in P number 8. And Hemi, your ninth, buddy, and at the number 71 machine. And then 10th was going to be Douglas R. Johnson and the number 3 right now.
I think it's going to be a very tall stretch for those top 10 drivers to stretch this thing out all the way to the end. I mean, even if we have these caution laps here and maybe even another caution, if these cautions keep breeding cautions here, I think it's still going to be a big ask to get those cars 38, 39 laps all the way to the end. These drivers coming in under this caution and topping off, I think, are really sitting in the catbird seat to try and sneak a win out of these other drivers. And you know they're going to be out here if they're good to go here on fuel. And you see some guys coming back in here. You see Len McNeese back in there topping off one more time. You know they're going to be pushing. They're going to be pushing very hard. They want to burn these guys at the front fuel off as quick as possible. They want them to have to drive hard and hold their positions and use up every ounce of fuel, because they should be good to go here. I mean, it's going to be still a little tight for them, but you know, a little bit of saving is all they're going to need to do compared to the guys at the front having to do a lot of saving. But we've got a lot of action still to go. We've still got 31 laps to go. Once we take the green flag here, it is going to be Derek Paulson at the front, your control car, with his teammate Dalton Kilroe right alongside Robert Kahn, DJ Mitchell in the second row, Mike Hasty, Brian Dees in row number 3 as the pace car is off one more time. 31 to go at the line, and the control car, Derek Paulson on the loud pedal, racing again in Kentucky.
Racing again in Kentucky as we watch these cars break free here and once again under green as we cross a line to start lap 90. But a shout there from Tyler Hilton and a little bit about Cade Green's paint scheme. So Cade Green is driving a special paint scheme for Gold Line Guardians, honoring the life and legacy of Matthew Brown, a 911 telecommunicator who lost his life following a stroke on duty a few years ago. During National 911 Telecommunications Week, it seemed fitting to have Matt along with the 19 as he was a racer fan himself. So out there, and thanks for the info, Tyler. It's always good to know that some of the paint. So we talked about paint jobs. I know what they mean to some of the drivers, and some they take the time to paint these things, and sometimes they mean something. I mean, there's a good example of that paint scheme on Cade Green's machine.
Not sure what the situation is for the one-timer Asco, but in pit lane right now, and could be some more issues here for the one, just not being able to finish out the races here up front as he's currently in the pits. But out front, it is Derek Paulson trying to hold off his teammate Dalton Kilroe in second, Robert Kahn, DJ Mitchell right there. You see up at that top line, Brian Dees trying to work his way up there around Mike Hasty, as that is the battle for 5th and 6th here. The 72 of Hasty holding off the 17 at the moment. But the laps are starting to tick down here, starting to tick away. Again, I think the top 10 right now, actually top 8, still going to be looking at one more pit stop. I don't think they're going to make it all the way to the end, so it'll be very interesting how this plays out. We mentioned Tim Lee up there in the top 10. And just once again sneaking his way up there towards the end of this race, now inside the top 10. We'll see how he finishes out as we are on board here with Michael Pratt looking forward. But we are down to 27 laps to go here at Kentucky. Jimmy, it's about time to crank these cars up and give Sierra Nation a little love to hear it.
The second round, I'd love to hear it. action going on in the track. You get to hear the sights and sounds of these cars, but Joseph Grijalva out to the front. A little bit of incident between the number 25 and 24 as the 24 jumped to the pit, so Tim Lee taking that thing to his crew to get that thing repaired and maybe get back out here. But 20 laps remaining. Joseph Grijalva out front with Robert Kahn in second, Dalton Kilrose in third. Derek Paulson finds himself in P number 4, and the man on a mission of 27 spots. That number is 77 of Michael Pratt. We know that we've talked to him before when he had a great finish, and he likes to start from the back, Carl, and here he finds himself yet again knocking on the door, trying to get in and on the podium once again here in that number 77.
And Mr. Hard Charger is back at it again, up into the top 5, and he last pit on lap 86, so may have to stretch it a little bit here to make it to the end, but certainly in a better position than the 3 cars in front of him, being Paulson, Kilroe, and Kahn, all pitting on lap 81, so they're definitely going to have to be in ultra save mode here at some point or another to be able to make this thing all the way to the end. But the man at the front, Joseph Grijalva, was trying to stretch out, trying to get away from Robert Kahn, but actually, yeah, he is. That is a lap car that is right behind him right now, so he is starting to stretch out to a 1-second lead over Robert Kahn. Kilroe right there, another half-second back. But your top 5 is going to be Grijalva, Kahn, Kilroe, Michael Pratt, and Derek Paulson. Divers, Mitchell, Garrett, Hasty, and these are going to round out your top 10 as we've got 18 laps to go, now 17 at Kentucky.
And give you a breakdown where everybody sits as far as pit strategies go, and Joseph Grijalva being in last in on lap 87. Michael Pratt was in on lap 86. That is now currently in P number 3. And then you have John Garrett in 8th right now. Was in on lap 86. Joshua Divers was in on lap 86. Got a feeling. Joshua was up there. We're in 81. They long away to stretch them fuel tanks to make it the rest of the way, and it might be what puts them guys to the back. Back to, and we have a lot of rooting for. Cade here finds himself in number 19 at the moment.
And first car one lap down as he came in on lap 100, topping off on fuel. Looks like he took 4 tires as well, so definitely going to be able to make it to the end with that pit strategy. But we got 15 laps to go here, and I think a lot of those drivers up there with the pit stop on that lap 81 are going to be hoping for a caution here late, but moving himself now into second place. Again, Mr. Hard Charger in the 77. Michael Pratt is on the move and on the hunt to try and get up to the front here and get to Joseph Grijalva right behind him. Big battle as you got Robert Kahn still in 3rd, holding off the battle behind him, which is Dalton Kilroe in that 41 on the outside, Joshua Divers on the inside. Divers, another one of those that pit on lap number 86 and really trying to burn the fuel off of these guys at the front. Right behind these guys, Derek Paulson, your points leader, just sitting back there watching and maybe saving a little bit of fuel, trying to stretch this thing all the way to the end, but time is starting to tick away. 13 to go this time by.
It's a down little point now, and they need to get every position they can, and these drivers that do have a little bit extra fuel will push the cars a little bit harder if they're not, especially if they have the fuel to make it the rest of the way. I really do think it's close there with the drivers that came in on lap 81. So they're the drivers that came in on lap 81. I think those are the ones they might be able to make it to the end of the race, but they do need to go into conserve mode. So they're trying to walk away with a decent finish here. And if you're the points there, Derek Paulson, that might just be the case. Might just want to lift a little bit, make sure that you can finish the race, and get that top 10 finish here tonight. A very respectful place, especially when you're leading up points and the ultimate goal of the season is to walk away a champion. But number 10 walking away right now, out to a 1.6 second lead over Michael Pratt, that number 77 machine, Robert Kahn. Back just a little bit, chasing. Got to get around excuse me, that's Joshua Bowers trying to get around Robert Kahn there. He's all over that rear bumper. Walt Kilrow not too far behind, and Derek Paulson, DJ Mitchell, and then number 4, Penzoil Machine. Mike Hasty in heat number 8, John Garrett's in 9th. We haven't talked about John much tonight. That 66 machines were kind of quiet, but he's found himself inside the top 10.
Yeah, started in P14 and doing a good job right now in the Fort Worth machine there. As again, we want to give a shout out to the sponsors here on the series, that being Goldline Guardians, Fort Worth Screen Printing, and Hilton Crafts and Designs for all their help in putting out some sponsorship and helping these guys here at the Virtual Velocity Racing for their 2024 Cup Series, as we are 10 to go. And I was taking a look at that 57 up there at Joshua Divers, and it seemed like he had a really good run there a couple times on Robert Kahn, and just kind of settled in right behind him. Didn't want to complete that pass, and I feel like that was maybe kind of hanging back there, maybe saving a little bit of fuel, just to make sure he's definitely good to go all the way to the end, and maybe not allowing that 28 to get any kind of fuel saving behind him. But he has since made the pass now, so it is Grijalva, Pratt, and Divers, your top 3. But Joseph Grijalva has got a nice little gap that he is trying to run away. It's out to 2.3 seconds right now. So if he's got to do any kind of saving and maybe a little bit of clutching on that last lap, but he's got 8 laps to do it, and we could see another driver out here with 2 wins on the season after 8 races.
Yeah, and it's just, like I said, a testament to continue the perseverance to walk through anything that happens on the track, getting involved in an incident, getting that car repaired, getting back out on the track, running good fast laps, and find himself in a position to win here tonight, and that's what the 10 has done. So, good run there by Joseph Grijalva, as we are now down to 8 laps to go, and just, it's 30... With so many cars in the field, Carl, Michael Pratt has gained 30 positions for the evening so far, sitting in that second place. So good job on the 77.
That's it, just 30. He's just up 30 positions. Yeah,
just 30.
Your top 2 drivers combined are up 47 positions when you throw in Grijalva being up 17 himself. So pretty amazing job and drive by these drivers. I mean, it's hard enough having the speed to get up through these fields, but certainly a few little mix-ups and some incidents. You caught up on one of them, and it's going to be a long race for you. But looks like Jimmy's driver out here, Hemi Gherardini, coming into the pits. He knows he's not going to make it on fuel, so he comes in 6 laps to go, and it looks like he's going to take some tires while he's in here as well. So that is our first casualty to not making it to the end. Who is going to be next? Will everyone have enough fuel? I mean, we could be completely wrong on this. They could have been all short pitting on those first pit stops when we had it under green, and they actually can make it 40 laps. So maybe we're all wrong here, and they can all make it. And if that's the case, that number 10 of Grijalva has got a rocket ship out now to a 1.9 second lead, as Pratt has been chipping away here and there, but it's going to be really tough to catch him with 5 laps to go, as Pratt is in second, Divers in third. Kilrow has made it past Kahn to move into 4th, as Kahn is in 5th. Paulson in 6th, Mitchell, McNeese, Hasty, and Garrett your top 10, but we've got 4 laps to go here at Kentucky.
4 laps to go. Battle is back here as Eric Paulson makes the move on Robert Kahn to move into heat number 5. Move Robert Kahn back to heat number 6. Let's see what else we got. Some good battling back here with John Garrett and the gang with Hasty. And then right in front of him, you have Len McNeese. We've seen him get turned around on the track earlier tonight. Battling with the 4. Hasty at 66. Get the game. They are able to collect it, keep it green, as we only have 3 laps to go. Good save there by the 72 and 66.
We've got 3 laps to go down the backstretch, as the 10 coming off of turn number 3 and going to cross the line. 2 to go right now, and I mean, you're taking a look at the 16 of Derek Paulson earlier. Currently his low finish on the season if he finishes here in 4th place. So horrible race for the 16 if they can make this thing all the way to the end and gonna just kill that 1.8 average finish. But a great drive right now by all these drivers. I'm really shocked at them making it this far in the race, but you see now the 28 starting to fade back a little bit, maybe really having to save some fuel, and he is now back in 9th place as we've got the final lap now here at Kentucky. One more time around. Joseph Grijalva, 1.5 second lead over Michael Pratt. Going to take a mistake or going to take the 10 running out of fuel for Pratt to have any kind of chances. Divers is currently in 3rd. But coming around the final corners, we had 8 races now complete in the season. 3 different drivers are completing are grabbing 2 wins. And this one being Joseph Grijalva, as he is your winner here at Kentucky. 2nd win on the season for the 10. Great run for the hard charger. Michael Pratt in 2nd. Joshua Divers, a good fight back here, and he's going to finish in 3rd. Kilrow is going to make that fuel stretch to the end and finish in 4th. Great finish. Len McNeese, what a fight back for the 84, and sneaks his way all the way up into the top 5. So great finish there for the 84. Paulson going to finish way back in 6th. Horrible finish, and he's going to have a lot of explaining to do after finishing outside the top 5 once this year. Maxwell Caldwell, a good run for the 95 as well, as he's going to finish in the 7th. John Garrett, 66, finishing in 8th. Michael Benedetto in 9th, and Robert Kahn going to fall back to 10th place, trying to save fuel to the end, but your man here with the win may not have enough fuel to even do a burnout here, but the 10 of Joseph Grijalva, what a finish. Looks like he's got a little bit of fuel. Just gotta get it in the right gear, and there we go. Your burnout here tonight at the Kentucky Speedway.
And I think he was just making sure everybody was off the track and done coming down the pits as and gets a little burnout time here tonight. So good comeback from the 10, especially to come back from last week after having those incidents. But great run by the 10 of Joseph Grijalva. Obviously, Michael Pratt coming from the back to the front. He might not have won tonight, but 30 positions and to kind of avoid all the incidents and work his way through the field is just another thing out there. So, and then Joshua Divers obviously coming in P number 3. So great run for everybody. But before we get everybody up here in the booth, we'll go ahead, we'll put down this ticker, we'll bring up the race results. We'll do a quick rundown before we get the interviews underway and show you where your favorite drivers have finished here tonight. As Joseph Grijalva will win tonight over Michael Pratt, Joshua Divers in P number 3. We'll talk to them here in a little bit. Then we have Dalton Kilrow, Len McNeese, Derek Paulson, Maxwell Caldwell, John Garrett, Michael Benedetto, and Robert Kahn for your top 10. Then Mike Hasty, Brian Dees, DJ Mitzel, Chris Schuessler, Mike Taylor, Chris Moreland, Douglas Johnson, Cade Green will finish in 18th after having a really good run. Not quite sure what happened to him towards the back of the race. Then we had Hemi, and then in 20th we got Brian Allen, Eric Blunt in 21st, Todd Merkel, Hilton Young, Brandon Muir, Mike Rideout, Tim Lee, Matt Marasco, and Willie Van Meter for your top 28. And 29th will be Craig Learman, Todd Boston for 30th, Frank Hughes, Tim Williams, Robert Smith, and Michael Eden for your 34. Our driver field here tonight at Kentucky.
How about Billy Van Meter coming in 50 laps down and works his way all the way up to 28th, and just grabbing a few positions here with everybody dropping out, and finished 50 laps down. So he did lose another lap the rest of the race. But we'll go ahead and bring in our top 3 here tonight, and we're going to start it with our 3rd place Joshua Divers. We'll let Jimmy get it all set up here. But a great race by all these drivers out here. A nice little green flag run to finish this thing off. Certainly paid off for the drivers that came in under the last caution and topped off on fuel, and it didn't exactly pay off for the guys that were trying to stretch that thing out, other than Kilrow being able to stretch it out the best in 4th place. But one of the guys that didn't have to stretch it out was the 57 of Joshua Divers. Jimmy, why don't you go ahead and take our 3rd place finisher here tonight?
Hey Joshua, this is Jimmy and Carl up in the booth. You copy?
Yeah, man.
Hey, you were able to walk away here with a pretty decent finish. You're kind of quiet here tonight, but able to get a good pit stop there towards the end, putting you in a position where you didn't really have to save much fuel walking away tonight with a P number 3. So give us a little breakdown on how your race was for you, and I guess just let the fans know out there, what they need to do to maybe get in one of these cars and finish in a third place like this.
Well, it's not easy running these cars, man. Finishing on top 3 is. I ended up getting a black flag because it said I passed the car under yellow after one of the wrecks, and I didn't pass it because the dude had got wrecked. And it ended up putting me at the end of the line even after they cleared it. So I ended up having to go all the way from the back with the 10 car after all that. But I knew I could make it on fuel because I pitted on. I was like, I know I can get like 32 laps of fuel. So I was like, well, I think I can make it. Nobody else pitted except for the couple guys in the back. So I figured if I stayed with 10 car or I stayed in front of him, I'd be good. And then he was just being ultra aggressive going up through the field, and I was trying to just tear through him too. But he just got in an incident with another car, and I ended up hitting him and almost wrecked, and so I lost all my momentum. And I ended up having to repass cars that I'd already passed, so it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. But I'm happy to still end up with a third in the top 3 for sure. But we'll take it.
Yeah, again, correct. Congratulations. It's not easy with these cars. I do know when the car breaks loose, it's hard to get them back under control for sure. There's a very limited amount of, I guess, official runs inside the cockpit driving. But great run there for the 57 here tonight. We'll give you a little bit of time for any shouts that you may have before we let you get out of here.
Yeah, man. I'd like to thank my team, Chaos Motorsports, you guys for putting it on. There's let's see, Circuit City Raceway, Edco Welding, Keep Digging, Sim Coaches, Cutscene, Avery Dennison, MEP Performance, Van Dorn, all them guys, man.
Yeah, a long list of sponsors, and it's good to see all those people supporting you out there with what you love to do. So again, congratulations on that P number 3, and we'll let you get out of here and go celebrate with your friends and family.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Have a good night.
You too.
That is your third place finish here tonight, the 57 of Joshua Divers. Second place tonight is Mr. Hard Charger, the 77 of Michael Pratt. And Michael, you give us nothing at all in qualifying week in and week out, and it's by choice. You put yourself behind all these drivers out here, and a lot of really good drivers out here, but you love working your way through the field. You work through 30 cars here tonight to get yourself into second place, but really it came down to the pit strategy, and it came down to some of you guys coming in there on that last yellow flag and topping off on fuel. Were you looking at all the guys, the top 10 that stayed out there and kind of licking your chops and knowing that you could just go kind of full out there to the end?
Well, I was hoping I could make it all the way to the end. It was saying I was only going to get 30 laps on fuel, and it was saying, we had 33 laps or so to go when we went back. I was hoping I was going to make it, and it ended up working out in my favor. But with all the cautions, it was kind of hard to have some kind of strategy in there, so it was kind of luck of the draw at the end.
Well, another good run here. You came up one spot short of grabbing your second win here in the season, but ninth place in the points coming in, certainly going to help you out, leaving here tonight. Do you feel like you kind of got a grip on the field here and kind of got your eyes on who are the competitors here that you got to work to kind of beat here for the championship?
For sure. I think we're a lot of the top guys in here. I think I'm close to them. I don't know if I'm as good as them, but I definitely try. This strategy starting from the back, I just want to have some fun. Just, give me a little more of a challenge. I could try running up front the whole entire race, but that doesn't really seem challenging to me. So I try starting from the back and just see what happens.
Well, it's certainly fun. You may not get a lot of camera time in the first, 10, 20, 40, 50 laps, but you get that camera time at the end. That's really when it matters. So congrats again on second place run here tonight. Who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
I'd like to give Tim Lee a shout out for putting this on and all the other people behind it now. I don't know all your guys' names, but thank you for doing this. It was a lot of fun. Thank my family that always stood behind me. Bren Ross, Pat, the Porter woodworking on the hood of my car. That's actually a local business here in Michigan. That's actually owned by Ross. But I want to just thank everybody for being here and letting us do this every Thursday. It's a lot of fun.
All right, well, congrats again on the second place, and we'll see if you can move that 77 up through the field next week at Dover. Certainly going to be a tough ask for sure, but I'm sure if anybody's going to be doing it, it's going to be you out there. So congrats again on the second place. We'll see you next week.
Sounds good. I'd like Dover, so hopefully I'll be up front, towards the front, at least towards the end. But yeah, it'll be a challenge. It'll be fun. You guys have a good night.
Absolutely. You too, buddy. That is your second place finish here tonight, the 77 of Michael Pratt. First place here tonight certainly had a few bumps and bruises along the way, as usual, but the 10 of Joseph Grijalva.
Hey, Joseph, it's Jimmy Carl in the booth. You copy, buddy?
Hey, Jimmy, I got you.
Hey, man. You week in and week out. Last week not as favorable as this week. Obviously, you're going through your trials and tribulations with getting caught up in a few incidents and really having to work that number 10 to bring it back. Your pit crew for my racing, I think you switched out with your karting pit crew, and they really put that thing back together tonight. As you were able to drive that number 10 back to the front here. Tell us a little bit about your race and what kind of put you in that position to walk away a winner here tonight.
I mean, this is surprising for me because I hate these tracks. I hate Texas last week, so I think I finished 6th was good. I'm really bad at this track, so I think I got really lucky. But I definitely ruffled some feathers along the way. And nothing intentional, just really aggressive driving. Once I was horrid in practice. I couldn't figure it out. But I have I don't know what it is about my brain, but once we get racing, it clicks suddenly. Maybe watching other guys do it gave me a clue on how to drive the track. And then once I figured it out, it's the aggression definitely from my seat turned up to 110 because I knew I could get there. Passing guys and things like that. We made some contact. It happens. I do tend to pinch guys. I'll admit that. I'm very aggressive there, but that's racing. They can let off or they can't. The outcome is either way. It happens to me, so that's how it goes. And I did mess up on the 3 wide. I forgot you cannot go 3 wide before the backstretch. So I took that penalty and we drove it back. But really lucky because those guys stayed out. They had to be on old tires because I was passing them pretty quick. I thought I was done because everybody took tires. But I'm pretty fortunate. A lot of luck for once came my way, I think.
Yeah, a little bit of luck can go a long way when it comes to these races. And racing. Obviously a give and take situation, and you're always going to put yourself in a situation to try to get the best finish possible. And you guys will get better as the weeks go on and how each other drive, and it just kind of comes with the time with each other. But good run here tonight. Great run back to the front. You gained 17 positions overall throughout the evening. Like I said, you had to overcome the incident points, the penalty positions, but you were able to walk away tonight here a winner. So congratulations on Pete, number 1 here at Kentucky. Give you a little time for any shout outs that you may have.
Absolutely. Just thanks to the iRacing pit crew because they fixed it pretty good. But really thanks to Tim for that fast repair because that's what saved me. But thanks to you guys for putting the show on and allowing Dad to watch every week. Dad's always supporting me, real world racing or virtual racing, doesn't matter. He's got my back, and it's much love there from Dad. And, of course, the family, sister, wife, kids, everybody. And can't forget about the car sponsor, BKA, El Paso Motorsports Kart Racing Club. Look them up on Facebook, please. If you got ill will towards me, that's me. But please support the club down here in El Paso. They're growing. It's family-friendly kart racing, entry-level karting. It's growing a lot. So please give them a like, give them some exposure. Everybody appreciates it. And I have to thank the number 1 guy in my heart, and that's Jesus Christ from my eyes. So I can't be here without his love and support, and thank you. Hopefully we'll be here next week.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to seeing you in the maybe in the booth again next week as you guys head off to Dover. So it's one of those self-cleaning tracks. When things happen there, the high banks, concrete, 1 mile, dome, or mile, whatever you want to call it. There's plenty of things. I've been there myself in real life, and it's a blast. In real life, I look forward to seeing all these cars and drivers from VVR get out there and tackle that thing as well. So, again, congratulations from tonight. We'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
Awesome. I would try to drive it back to pit road, but she's dry, so we'll tow it from there.
Roger that.
All right, that is your winner here tonight. The driver of the number 10, Joseph Grijalva, and the man behind Fuego Paints as well. As we talked multiple times about drivers and how much they take time and put some really great paints out there. And I know he is the man behind Fuego Paints. So another company there. If you're looking for a paint job here on iRacing, certainly check him out. But yeah, some bumps and scrapes and maybe some bruised egos here after the race is the sound of it. And Grijalva not apologizing. So we got some storylines, and Jimmy, you know how much I rub my hands together. I love me some storylines. I love me some drama out here, and I will more than happily be keeping an eye on this all season. But I mean, it's been a heck of a drive for a lot of these drivers so far through 8 races. Again, 3 different drivers having 2 wins now on the season. Grijalva grabbing his 2nd win here tonight. Paulson and Kilroe also having 2 wins. Robert Kahn was right up there looking for his 2nd win. Michael Pratt was up there looking for his 2nd win. So we certainly have, some cream kind of rising to the top here in the points. But I mean, really, you got a lot of drivers out there that can certainly, step up and grab their 1st win or maybe grab their 2nd win. I mean, Joshua Diver seems like he's up there week in and week out, has yet to grab his 1st win on the season. Who's going to be able to tame Miles the Monster next week is the question as we head to the 1 mile concrete, just beast of a track at Dover Motor Speedway. Going to be a good one there, 150 laps on tap. Tonight was a really good one out here, though, Jimmy. I mean, these drivers, 32, 33 strong out here. A couple little rough patches here in the middle, getting a few cautions out there, but all in all, some really good, tight racing.
Yeah, I mean, the racing is just, by far none, some of the best out there. You are going to have multiple levels of driving, some more aggressive than others, some that like to take it a little easier, some that are aggressive and kind of put you in a situation where you definitely don't want to be. And I've had I'm the more, well, I used to be the a little more relaxed guy, and but I've been on the receiving end of aggressive moves, and I know how it can cause obnoxity or just tension between drivers, and you just kind of got to talk it through and take it week from week and just keep racing, and you're gonna figure each other out. And sometimes it's being aggressive can end your race early, so it just comes with the time on the track and being around the other drivers, and everybody will eventually learn the way everybody drives and act accordingly. And sometimes the aggressive guy doesn't, the move doesn't work every single time. so you might see him go through the grass or wreck or not be as consistent with some of the finishes. So we'll see how things come out, as drama's always a good thing to pick up on, and tension's always kind of a good storyline here at CRN. Is we'll try to keep things kind of, I guess, brewing to keep things kind of interesting for the fans out there. And no hard feelings. We're just having some fun up here. But great racing by everybody. I thoroughly enjoy every week. Every Thursday, every time I get in the booth, just watching the drivers out here having fun and doing the best they can, and seeing who out of, at least here at VVR, who of 34 drivers is going to walk away the winner. It could be a surprise. It could be somebody that leads every single week. It could be, somebody just showed up that night. So again, congratulations. Keep coming out here. You guys are putting on a great show. I'm sure some people are having some fun out there, and some people maybe not. But that's racing, and this is kind of the way it goes sometimes. And it's hard to say, but I look forward to it. I like watching it, and you guys putting on a great show. So again, congratulations to everybody. I look forward to seeing everybody at Dover. Carl. Thank
you again to the sponsors here in the series, Gold Line Guardians, Fort Worth Screen Printing, Hilton Crafts and Designs. Thank you to Tim Lee for putting on this great league here at VVR and allowing these drivers to compete week in and week out. Miles the Monster waits next week for these drivers, and I'm sure is going to grab quite a few of them. It doesn't matter how good you are. Dover can be a beast. It can be very, very challenging. But you'll have to tune in next week to check that out. Thank you to everyone that tuned in this week. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe and get in tune to everything that CRN has to offer and join the CRN Nation. But for myself and Jimmy at Kentucky, we'll see you at the track.
Peace.